Hey guys! Today I am back with another crafty kind of tutorial thing for you guys. I am going to show you how to make this ruffled flower. They are gorgeous, the same singed technique as we've done previously, but it is much more three-dimensional, much thicker, much fuller, and to me much prettier. So let's get into this tutorial. Okay guys, so for the supplies, you're going to need 3 strips of fabric that will melt with heat. You are also going to need a needle and thread. I've already threaded my needle here, so it's ready to go. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a tea light, and a lighter or matches to light it. The backing for your flower, piece of felt, I'm making mine into a hair clip. I've already attached the hair clip. And you are going to need a hot glue gun. So to start, we take our 3 strips, and a little tip is for a fuller flower, make longer strips. The longer the strip, the fuller your flower is going to be. So I'm just going to take my strips here, and I want to just fold them over and over and over again. And this fabric that I have here is a crepe backed satin. So you can see this back side is not shiny at all. It's got like a texture to it, but the other side is the shiny satin side. But I love this because it singes really well and doesn't burn as quickly as other fabrics do. It's just nice. So we want to fold it over and over, and then we want to cut a petal shape. And so just cut a semicircle out of the top there. And when you open it, you will have a scalloped edge. So you want to do this to all 3 pieces of your fabric. Okay, so we have all 3 of our pieces scalloped now with the scalloped edge, and I don't know if you can tell, but this back piece here is the widest and the longest. So this will end up being the bottom layer of my flower. The middle piece is slightly shorter and not as thick, so it's the middle one, and then this one is slightly shorter than the last one, and it's not as thick. So there's like tiers. So this is the bottom, middle, top. Okay, so now we are going to move all these little pieces of fabric. We are going to singe the edges. Okay. And with all of your fabric, before you do this, do a test piece to see how it reacts, because if it catches fire like instantly, don't do it. Just try not to use that fabric. But I'd like to just singe the sides here first, the cut side first. And I just run it near the flame. I don't even touch the flame. And it melts all those little fibers, so it seals it off so it doesn't fry. So now you just want to take your petals and just go over the flame, not touching it, just above it, just to get that heat. You touch it, you're more likely to catch your fabric on fire. So just gently run your fabric above the flame, or just near the flame. You don't want to touch it, you just want the heat. Okay, so your fabric will start to curl a bit, and it will just seal all of these edges so there's no fraying. And you just want to do this all the way down each strip of the fabric, and also seal this cut edge, like where all these fibers are. You want to seal that off. So do that to all 3 pieces. Okay, so we have our 3 strips all singed here, and now we want to take our needle and thread, and let's move these out of the way. You want to take your needle and thread and you want to do a running stitch along the bottom. Your thread does not have to match your fabric because you won't be able to see this. So running stitch is, I've just knotted the end of my thread here. Got little pieces of fabric everywhere. I just knotted the end of my thread, and I just want to go in the end and pull through. You can hear Dobby behind me on my bed going nuts. And you want to just start going in and out of your fabric. This does not have to be precise. This does not have to be even. Just as long as you are going along the bottom and you are not super close to the edge. So you can see that my stitches are not even. They're not super close. Just in and out. And this part doesn't really take that long compared to the like singeing of the whole flower. Okay, so we are at the end, and you want to just gather it all together, and you want to find the other side here. So this is where you started here, and we want to take our needle and go back into that first part where we started. Okay, so we're going to be connecting the two sides together. So just pull this and bring those two sides together, and then we just want to stitch those together a couple of times because we want this to stay. Okay, that tight, and then one more time. And with this one, you don't want to pull all the way through just yet. You want to grab that loop with your needle and pull through, and just pull through tight just to let it finish it off, and then just cut, leaving a small little tail there, and we have the bottom of our flower. I'm pushing all the ends to the bottom there, so that's the bottom layer. You want to do that to the other two layers as well. Okay, so we have all three pieces here. We want to start assembling our flower. So I'm just going to take the thread that was in the bottom one and just kind of put it in the middle because it's going to get covered up by the second one. So we take this middle piece, the middle layer, and we want to make sure that we push all of the ends so they're facing the bottom wrong side of the flower, and we want to catch all of our little threads, and then take our glue gun and put some glue on this bottom portion here, and then a little tiny bit on the sides, and I want to put it right in the middle of the bottom layer and pick it up and just kind of squeeze the bottom layer around it just a little bit. Okay. Alright, and then we take the top layer, we do the same thing. Push all the bottom, all the ends so that they are flat. So they're flat on the bottom here, and I know I've got a lot of strings, but that's okay. Like, they're going to get glued down anyway, so. And then just again with the glue gun. And I know you can probably see some of the mess going on back over there. It's all bedding that was changed today. So now we just stick that in the middle And pull the, like squeeze the flour up around it a little bit. Okay. And there is our roughly singed flour. So for the backing of it, so if you want to make it like a headband, or like mine, it's going to be a hair clip, or you can make it a brooch with like a bar pin thing. Just take your, attach whatever you're going to make it into to your piece of felt, and then glue that piece of felt to the back. I use a lot of hot glue because I want this sucker to stay. So here's the back of my flower, and I just want to place that right on there and press it down to the fabric to make sure it's good and stack. And then there you go. You have a ruffled singed flower. So just remember, if you want a even fuller flower, longer strips, maybe a little wider, you can cut your scallop a little deeper. I've got glue on my fingernail. You can cut your scallop a little deeper, and yeah, you can also put something in the middle here. Like if you pull this open, you can put something inside there, like a crystal or a button, whatever you want to put in there, or you can just leave it like this. I like them like this. I think they just look really pretty. All right, guys, so that's it. I mean, super easy, and I love them. These are great if you, I mean, just want to make them for yourself, for friends and family, but they're also great if you have if you belong to a church or something that has like women's conferences, and they have like booths set up to sell things. These would sell like crazy. My family goes to those conferences, and stuff like this is always there. So definitely, you know, if you are a crafter and you sell your crafts, you could add this to your list. Add this to your little repertoire of crafty things that you do. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Oh my god, guys, there's a stink bug on my window. Do you see that? Oh, he's between my window and the screen. That's just disgusting. Oh no.